So next month, thousands of Americans will mobilize at state houses across the country to demand more from their local elected officials. The action was announced yesterday by the Poor People's Campaign, an organization that aims to use the power of America's low-wage workers to enact change in Washington. Joining us now, the organization's co-chair, Reverend Dr. William Barber. Also with us, president of Lake Research Partners, Celinda Lake. She is a Democratic Party strategist and one of two lead pollsters for Joe Biden's 2020 presidential campaign. Thank you both for being with us this
Reverend
morning.
Barber, tell us about the campaign.
Well, you know, Joe, thank you, Nika, for having me. 135 million Americans now are poor and or low wage. It is time to wake this sleeping giant. It's time to be a resurrection, not an insurrection. If you look at the numbers, over 900,000, almost a million poor and low infrequent voters didn't vote in Michigan. Just 1% would outdistance the margin of victory. In North Carolina, over 900,000 poor and low-wage infrequent voters didn't vote. Just 18.4% would close the gap of the margin of victory. In Florida, over 2.8 million poor and low-wage infrequent voters didn't vote. Just 3 to 4% would close any margin of victory. So March the 2nd, in 32 states and D.C., poor and low-wage workers and people and thousands of religious leaders and others are coming together to launch a massive 42-week campaign to reach 15 million poor and low-wage infrequent voters around an agenda around fighting for living wages and fighting for health care and saying that, listen, there are 52 million poor and low-wage workers in this country who have not gotten a raise since 2009, 52 million, Joe. And we saw 8 Democrats and 50 Republicans block them when the president and the vice president wanted to see them get $15 in a union. But they are now saying we are not going to sit on the sideline anymore. We are the sleeping giant. We have power. It's time to use it and use it in a massive way. 42-week campaign starting March 2nd to reach 15 million poor and low-wage voters to transform this electorate.
Reverend Barber, Sharpton here. One of the two-part question. One is that the fact that you and I know that bringing visibility brings credibility to issues. And you've worked in this area of raising the point of low-wage workers and poor people for a long time. I came out of Operation Breadbasket where Dr. King was killed a year I started at 12. Raised the Poor People's Campaign, and Hosea Williams, Abernathy, Reverend Jackson kept it going. And raising this issue at a state house level is because a lot of the things that come out of Washington will not get to the people if the state houses don't deal with it. And I think that the strategy of that explained to people why going to the state houses becomes important and waking up poor and working class people to reasons that they should be voting so it's connected to their lives, not just this up here somewhere political discussions that they really don't personalize or understand how it affects them on a daily basis.
Well, you're so right, Reverend Jackson. Everything we've ever won in movement started from the, excuse me, Lord have mercy, Reverend Shafter. Everything we've ever won started from the bottom up, right? From Birmingham up, from Montgomery up. We know that in these state houses, that's where the real political insurrection is going on. State houses can block living wages. They can block health care. They can block Medicaid expansion. They can block money for public education. They can change voting rights. And so what we're saying is if you're for voting rights expanded, if you're for living wages, we need to massively mobilize. They're going in challenging both sides of the aisle. But also on June 15th, we're coming to D.C. to challenge the Congress because the things that we're pushing for are not some radical ideas. 72% of exit polls said that Americans want a raise. They want a $15 minimum wage for people who've not gotten a raise since 2009. And here's the moral question, Reverend Sharpton, and that is that we went through COVID and we called people necessary workers and then treated them like they were expendable. We said they had to go to work, but even when they went to work, they didn't get a living wage, paid family leave. These people are now saying, wait a minute, we have power all over this country. There is not a state in this country where if 20% of poor and low-wage, infrequent voters were to mobilize and vote, they could not transform elections in state capitals. You're exactly right, Reverend Sharpton.
So, Celinda, this is obviously, as Reverend Barban said, this is a massive group of Americans, a lot of people who vote as well, and we'll be thinking about which way to go in this election come fall. So, as a pollster for the president's campaign, talk about your role in this partnership here and why you think this is so important.
Well, my role is to look at the data and really validate this approach. And I want to say that I think this is game-changing. This is the biggest block of unmobilized voters out there. And this is going to be a mobilization election. And when Reverend Barber shared numbers like 900,000, 1.1 million voters, non-voters, these are states where the margin was 10,000 voters. This is game-changing to mobilize these folks. And the participation among poor people is about 22% less than the participation on average. This is the biggest change that I'm seeing out there and the biggest potential for progressive victories.
All right, Reverend
Joe,
Dr.
can I mention
William
one
Barber. Go ahead. Go
Sure,
ahead,
mention
Reverend.
one other thing. Joe, because you've said this on...
Let me say, anybody that calls Reverend Sharpton Reverend Jackson always has an open spot on my show.
Right.
Well, Reverend Jackson mentored me, so people can't get confused. We have the same rhythm. We have the same rhythm.
And you know that he was naming all of the names and the heroes and sheroes of the past, and so in that moment, we really all are brothers. But in this sense, there's one other issue, Joe. Poverty is now is the fourth leading cause of death in this country. This has to be a moral issue. We've had 15 presidential debates in the last election, and not 30 minutes on how will you address poverty if you're the leader of this country? How will you address low wages if you're the leader of the country? That's killing almost 250,000 people a year. This is a moral issue. It's a political issue. It's the right time, and we're waking the sleeping giant.
And Ms. Lake, does President Biden understand this?
I think the whole team understands it, and I think the whole Democratic Party understands it. But frankly, besides being a moral issue, this is just a practical political issue. When you're sitting on 1 million voters, the ability to tap 500,000 for you, and you're winning a state by 10,000, this is an effort you want to participate in.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Celinda Lake and Reverend Dr. William Barber, thank you both very much for being on this morning. We appreciate it. And Reverend Al Sharpton, thank you as well.